Are you postpartum? Maybe you just had your baby, maybe you're 6 years or even more out, and you are looking for a way to reconnect with your body, a way to rebuild your abs, rebuild your pelvic floor, and get back to movement in a way that helps you feel strong and confident. Keep watching. Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Sarah, family physician, wife, mom of 5, and exercise enthusiast. So let's get back. We're gonna start with 360 breathing. Definitely subscribe if you are a mom looking for doable, quick, effective workouts that are judgment-free. Subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss a video. So we're gonna take our hands in this C shape, big deep breath in, and then exhale. So I'm gonna have you keep going while I talk through some of what you should be thinking about. So on that inhale, you feel your hands expand, your ribs are expanding in all directions, forwards, sides, and back. And then on the exhale, you're thinking about an audible exhalation as if you're breathing, blowing out hundreds of birthday candles. Your ribs contract back down and your abs are tightening around your body, almost as if somebody's tightening a corset around you or like you're being wrapped in mummy tape. So we're gonna do that again. So that big inhale in, ribs expand in all directions. Exhale, audibly like you're blowing out hundreds of birthday candles. The ribs contract back down, tightening around you like a corset. Your abs are tightening like a corset. Okay, next one, we're gonna think about the pelvic floor in addition to that. So on the inhale, your pelvic floor relaxes down as the ribs expand. On the exhale, your pelvic floor is up and in, as if there's a tissue on the floor and the 4 points of your pelvic floor are taking the tissue up and inside your body. So these are the muscles, if you were in the bathroom peeing, that are stopping the flow of urine. That's one way. If you've never done anything like this before, you have no idea what I'm talking about when I say your pelvic floor. Think about that the next time you're in the bathroom, that stopping the flow of urine. Those are the muscles that you're contracting when you're contracting up and in. Okay, we're gonna do one more in this position. And I also have, and then exhale, I have a video all about this 360 breathing that I will link below so you can get even more into that. Okay, now we're going to lay down and we're gonna do a couple 360 breaths in this position. So we're gonna do a big inhale in and exhale. So we'll do 4 more on your pace. Just be slow and intentional with your breathing. Think about on the inhale, you're expanding, pelvic floor relaxes. On the exhale, pelvic floor is up and in, abs contract like a corset muscle. And this is something that I have done literally probably thousands of times, so it becomes second nature with the repetition. The first few times I did it, I felt like I had no idea what I was doing. I felt like I couldn't connect in the way that, like I'm describing now, how to link everything together, and that's okay. It's okay if that's how you feel. It's all about practice. Keep practicing, keep doing the repetitions, and it will become easier and it will feel more second nature to do it. Okay, now we are going to do pelvic tilts. So we're going to take our hands in a diamond shape on the lower belly, and we're going to think about on the inhale, tilting your pelvis and your hips towards the wall where your feet are pointing. And then on the exhale, you're tilting towards the wall behind you. And this is a very subtle movement. You may see just a tiny little rock in my hips, but this is hugely critical to repattern your body and to reconnect your abs, your pelvic floor, and all the musculature that changed and shifted during pregnancy. And still with the 360 breathing here. So on those inhales, you're thinking about the ribs expanding, and on the exhale, and the pelvic floor relaxing. And then on the exhale, as your pelvis is tilting towards the wall behind you, you're thinking about your pelvic floor contracting up and in, your ribs knitting back together, and your abs tightening like a corset around you. So we're gonna do just 3 more here. 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Okay. Now we're gonna kind of just shimmy out, get back to a neutral spine. So neutral would be where your back is not arched or flexed, it's just kind of a comfortable neutral. I'm gonna keep my hands on my low belly here. You could have them on your ribs, on your low belly, whatever is feeling good for you today. And we're gonna do a heel slide. So you're gonna do a big inhale as you slide your left heel down towards the floor to be flat, and then exhale it back up. And again, so on the end, I'm gonna alternate sides here. So now I'm doing the right. And while we're doing this, we're still thinking all that 360 breathing. So on the inhale, you're feeling your ribs expand, your pelvic floor relaxes. On the exhale, the heel comes up, the pelvic floor is up and in, and the ribs contract back down, and the abs are tightening. So I know as I say it, it's a lot to think about. That's why it takes practice. So the more you practice, the easier it will become to keep track of everything and feel like you're reconnecting everything. But this thinking about the breathing and the different muscles involved helps to reconnect and repattern everything. And this video is probably going to be a part 1 out of a multi-part series over postpartum abs. And the idea is these moves, you do these like hundreds of times. This is what I figured out over the years of 5 babies and 5 postpartum journeys, is these moves are very simple and gentle, but they are hugely critical to rebuild your pelvic floor and your core. And when you do them a day or two, you won't notice anything, but as you do these moves every single day for weeks, you'll start to feel stronger, you'll feel more confident in your movement, in your body in general. All right, we're gonna do a few more and then we're gonna switch to the next move. And so this is something you can do, this workout, these moves every day for a week or two, and then you can progress to like more challenging versions, more, different movements, all of that. But it's okay to stay doing these moves if, you want to make sure everything feels stable and good before you progress to something more challenging. The next one is going to be knee folds. So again, we're going to alternate. It's an inhale. And on the exhale, your knee comes up to a 90 position. So 90 at the knee, 90 at the hip, inhale down. Exhale the other leg up. And again, we're gonna alternate. And on that inhale, you're thinking about the ribs expanding, the leg comes up. The exhale. On the exhale, the leg comes up, the ribs are contracting, the ab muscles are tightening like a corset. And on the inhale back down, the ribs are expanding, and the pelvic floor is relaxing. So exhale up, pelvic floor is up and in. Inhale, pelvic floor relaxes on the other side. And you can see these moves are slow and intentional. That's on purpose because it's all about, again, that repatterning, reconnecting, and practicing getting all the parts. So the inhale with the ribs expanding, the pelvic floor relaxing, the exhaling with the knee coming up, the ab musculature tightening around you like a corset or like being wrapped in mummy tape, the ribs coming back together. Amazing. I'm so proud of you for showing up, for taking the time to do this. And the last thing we're gonna do is do a few more of those 360 breaths. We're gonna do like 4 more of these. And this is something you can break this up and do one move every, whatever, scattered, sprinkled throughout your day. You could do this as a 5-minute workout and do each move for a minute. You could go through it twice and make it 10 minutes. These moves are gentle enough that it's okay to do every single day. I lied. I said 4 more, we've done more, but I started getting chatty. You always want to talk with your physician and your medical team about what's right for you and your body. For me, that 360 breathing is something I literally did like in the hospital bed, hours postpartum, because I'm so used to doing it and I find it to be so gentle and so nourishing. It just like feels really good for my body. And some of these moves, the heel slides, the knee folds, I started doing, you know, a few weeks postpartum. And that, what that looks like for you absolutely depends on so many factors. And that's why you want to talk with your team. But I think that for me, one mistake I made postpartum with my first is I literally did not really move at all until that 6-week visit. And I didn't know. I wasn't educated in that way. And what I've learned over 5 babies and 5 journeys is movement is critical in those times. It's obviously not aggressively intense, but doing gentle things like this to help rebuild your core, rebuild your pelvic floor can be hugely helpful. All right, we're gonna do 3 of these 360 breaths and then you will be done. So a big inhale in. We're gonna inhale as big as you can. Pelvic floor relaxes, and then we're gonna exhale for 8, 7, 6. So it's audible, pelvic floor is up and in, exhaling all the way, abs are contracting. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Let it go, big inhale in again, and then exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and one more. Big inhale in, and on that exhale, it's slow, it's prolonged. 8, 7, 6, really pelvic floor up and in, tightening those abs, corset muscle. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. All right, so if you are a mom that is looking for quick, doable workouts that are effective, gentle, relatable, you definitely want to subscribe so you never miss an upload, never miss a video. I have loads of videos for you to check out. Like I said, that 361 I will link below. I have some other postpartum ab videos as well if you want to learn more, just have variety of stuff to do. So, you know, what if in a few minutes a day you could feel less overwhelmed? You could feel more reconnected to your body. You could feel strong and confident again and level up even above where you were before you got pregnant. So it's less about bouncing back, because who wants to go backwards, but more about, can you level up that new version of yourself that you are after having a baby? Because you are amazing. You grew a baby, you birthed a baby, and that is all amazing. And it's all about reconnecting with your body and feeling strong and confident to do all the things that you want to do. All right, thanks for watching. Subscribe. So glad you're here. Bye, everyone.